Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to the garden. Welcome to Garden Conversations with Rose. Do you see what's right there? It's mangoes, my favorite fruit of all time. I'm sitting under my mango tree. It's April the 12th, it's the weekend, and perhaps a number of persons like myself, we are looking forward to some quiet time away from our workplace, a time when we hope to get some rest, relaxation, spend some time with family, have our own self care going, and in general, just taking some time away, getting into a quiet space. And so we told you in the month of April that we are focusing on why does a mother retreat into a quiet space or a zone of silence. So you know, my mother turns 97 on April 29. So 9 days ago, my sister and I, we took her out for some time away from the space that she habitually stays. Sometimes she complains about being in the space. And so we decided, particularly since it's the month of April, we started a trend to take her out. On many occasions, mommy didn't want to do what we thought she wanted to do. In some instances, she retreated into a quiet zone and had absolutely nothing to say. And at other times, she was quite vocal. I thought about those times when she was in a quiet space and thought more about our highlight for April. Sometimes a mother retreats literally and figuratively into a zone of silence or quiet. When mom took her quiet space while she was with us, I think perhaps being elderly, she just wanted to rest. On other occasions, when she retreated into her quiet space, she just simply wanted to have nothing to say to either my sister or me. So we left her alone, and then when she wished to speak, she spoke a lot. So let's talk a little bit more about why a woman retreats into a quiet space. We said it could be either literally or figuratively. So she could retreat emotionally and mentally. Very often, a woman or a mother takes her children to heart. By that I mean she looks at their she looks about their educational well-being, their spiritual upliftment, how their health progresses, how they themselves are cared for, and of course she also looks at their protection. And in all of those spheres she tends for the most part to go all out. We know there are always exceptions, but she tends for the most part to go all out. So with regards to education, she always ensures that they have all their tools, equipment. She visits the school. She is present for report collection, for meetings, for one-on-one sessions, for activities of the school where the child participates. With regards to their physical upbringing, she will do the Sabbath and Sunday schools, do the devotions, or send them when she can't or doesn't want to. She wants to ensure that they always have a roof over their heads and does her best to ensure that they are cared for the most part. I must emphasize for the most part because you know there's some instances when that isn't done, sadly. But sometimes life becomes life. It becomes cruel and it becomes difficult to handle. And a mother being what she is or who she is sometimes becomes very overwhelmed. On occasions as well, things happen that trigger a particular response. So I think at times when a mother retreats into a quiet space, she could be doing so because she is really hurting. And she could be hurting for a number of reasons. She could be hurting because she feels as if she isn't able to provide for her children. She is hurting because the significant other or the other party, the father of the child, isn't doing what he ought to be doing. So she's hurting and she remains silent. She's thinking hard about her life, where she has come from, where she's been, where she is now. She could be hurting because she has a child who has become wayward and might have become involved in illicit activities. It could be a daughter or a son. And at times she's hurting because society is blaming her for the outcome that now presents itself. She could be hurting because she doesn't see the light at the end of the tunnel and she wonders, what did I do wrong? A mother can also retreat into a quiet space and so on because she's worried. She could be worried for a lot of reasons. It could be that a child has received a bleak diagnosis and the financial support is nowhere in sight. She's worried what is going to happen to her child. It could also be because a child is in excruciating pain, in severe pain all the time or most of the time, and she simply cannot do anything for the child. I know firsthand how it feels to not be able to help my child because my child is in so much pain. I can tell you that it isn't a good feeling at all. We worry. Why does it have to be like that? When is it going to stop? Is there going to be a resolution? Will the child become well? Will I be able to fund what is needed? A mother worries because of illness, or it could be that her child may be differently abled and she is worried, particularly if it's a child who is about to start school, that the others around may not understand what a child is going through and he or she may be not well received. A mother can also retreat into a quiet space and a quiet zone when she and her children aren't getting along. There is a constant battle, a war of words, and she is at her wit's end. She's tired, she's fed up. She herself becomes angry, and a level of toxicity begins to take hold and perhaps build and build and build. And she doesn't know what is about to happen and how it's going to end. Sometimes a mother also retreats into her quiet space. Figuratively, she wants to become involved in something else. She has locked out, away from everyone, because she's thinking about her life and where it it's headed. She has removed herself emotionally. She's just doing her chores and her duties in robot-like fashion, but she has already become detached. A mother goes through so many stages and phases, as we said last year, and a mother has a weight on her shoulder that is often very, very heavy. So I want to throw out something here, and I want to urge all of us who are able to be of some support to mothers, whether that support may be lending a listening ear, offering some resolution, some help, practical help, being supportive, assisting in some of the ways that a mother can't. There are many mothers who aren't able to cope. We should think about it. For those of you mothers out there who have retreated into your quiet space, I want to let you know that it's quite okay sometimes to be removed, because you are only human. You are human and you can go through stuff as well. But I want to encourage you and advise you that it isn't over. Don't give up. It isn't the end. I always say that we all have something in our hands that can propel us forward. There's always something within us that can take us where we ought to be. And so we have to find that thing. We ought always to know what it is that pushes us over the edge and what it is that takes us into that warm and fuzzy spot. So in the garden here in April, where we think of mothers are retreating and getting into silent space, let's not be too critical. Let's not be too judgmental. Let's think about what's happening. Offer what you can. And once you have done your part, the onus is on the individual to do what she must. I urge you also to remember to always take care of yourself, because there's only one of you. See you in the garden at another time.